You know that feeling of when you get up to play your guitar and the song keeps going back to that one chord, and you keep playing that one chord the same way over and over and over and over. These are cool things that you can do to just make the song more interesting if people are watching you and they're thinking, oh, this guy only knows a couple basic chords, I'm getting bored. You can do one of these tricks and have a little fun with it. I'm gonna show you how to play some chords. C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. 3 different ways. There's subtle differences. We're going to make them suspended, and then we're going to turn them into a 2 chord or an add 9 chord, right? You can kind of call them what you want. We're going to start from C, and we're going to work our way up. C chord, we all know looks like this. Now, I'm using my thumb to mute that E string. You can leave it open, but I usually don't. I'll put my thumb up there just to touch it. Okay, when we want to make it interesting, this works really well if you're in the key of C, and you're just sitting on a C, right? What we're going to do is we're going to put our pinky on here on the D string 3rd fret. That turns it into a C suspended, okay? That takes it back to a C when we take the pinky off. We take the middle finger off, and that turns it into a C with a 2nd or a 9th in it. Now look how easy it is to put it together. You can also add hammer-ons in there. If you strum and then slam on, you get a hammer while you play it. So that's the C. Now if these chords are tough for you and you're having enough trouble as it is just playing a normal C, check out my 12-day quick chords course. You need to get better at your basic chord changes, make them round, make them sound good and smooth. Check that course out. It's going to help you so much to boost your game in the early level guitar playing. Okay, let's move on to the next chord. We're going to move from C to D. We're just going to go up the alphabet here. So now we're on D. We got a D chord. Again, we strum from the D string down. If we want to make this a D suspended, make it interesting, we add our pinky on right here. We take it off, and we take the middle finger off. So we have a D suspended, a D, and a D2, or a D add 9. Okay? Putting it to our earlier pattern. Now it's worth noting that in all these chords, it really works best when you're in this key, because when you turn a chord suspended, it might not necessarily sound good in every key. So if you're in the key of C, this trick really works really good in the key of C, and a couple other keys, but especially in the key of C. And then if you're in the key of D, so on. Okay, so let's move on to the E next, okay? This is one of the trickier ones. To make it suspended is very simple. We just add the pinky on, okay? And then we take it off to make it back to an E. Now to make it an added 2 or an add 9, we're gonna have to get this note here. So we're gonna just, okay, now because we still have that 3rd in there, it's gonna sound a little different, a little more colorful. Okay. So all together, we're gonna release the ring finger and put the pinky on here, and back to the E. So. Okay, moving up from E, we're gonna go to F. F is typically a bar chord, and it doesn't work great because it turns it into an F7 chord. That suspension was gonna go from here to that note. So what we're gonna do here is play it a very simple way like this, because this is an F chord, right? It's got all the notes we need for an F. It doesn't use the top 2 strings, but it works for an F, and it sounds nice. But it's a little hard sometimes to avoid these 2 strings. But I'm going to show you how to do it the simple way. So you got this, then you're going to put your pinky on, then you're going to take it off, and then you're going to take a middle finger off. Very much like the C chord. And then the F. Okay. After the F, we have the G, which is one of my favorites. It's not a very easy way to play a G, but if you take your standard G position, and you just take off the index finger. Okay, I don't even use that when I play a G a lot of the time. I'll just have a muted A string. Now we'll take off the ring finger, and we have that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it suspended by putting our index way over here on the B string first fret. This can be a big stretch for those of you who are not used to it, but practice it and you will get the hang of it. That's a G suspended, a really nice chord. Take it off and you have a standard G. And to make it an added second or added ninth chord, we're gonna put our index on the G string A note right there. So we have, so all together we have, I love that. Next up we have the A, which will be using a standard A here. If we want to make it suspended, we'll slide the pinky up a fret. Some people play an A like this, in which case you can just add that note with your middle, or your ring, or your pinky. But we're going to play it just, this is the way I generally teach it, and the way I learned it. A, and then we move the pinky up. Back to A, we'll have to slide it down, and then we'll take the pinky off to make it an A2. We have, and last but not least we have the B, especially in the key of E. This B suspended trick works really good. So we've got a B. Okay, now if you don't want that and you're in the key of B, you're gonna have to round your index a bit to mute it, so that's your last string there, the open B. But to make it suspended, and by the way, my A string is muted with the back of my index here. Okay, to make it suspended, we'll put the pinky on here on the 9th fret G string. Then we'll take it off. And then we're gonna have to get it way over here on the 11th fret D string. Okay, so what you have here is, if you're in the key of E, you can leave them all open. It sounds a little more full, which is really pretty. And that would be it. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. That's how you make a chord suspended and regular and added second, added ninth, whichever one you want to call it. Really good tricks if you're playing in a key, and say you're playing a standard progression. And then the verse hits, and it's like G for a while, and it's back to G, and you're like, okay, I'm getting tired of this G. What can I do? I can suspend it. Right, D, and back to G. Once again, if you need help with the basic chord changes, or you just want to get faster, smoother, check out my 12-day quick chords course. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.